Can I see you a minute, please? Please.
¿A dónde está papi? 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 ¿A dónde está papi?
Welcome to the Tuesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Tuesday. Zeodude kicking things off with a tier 1 sub, 20 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. You guys are what makes this channel go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's happening? Hope you're good. It's a little bit unnerving these last couple of hours. It's a little bit unnerving. So for those of you who are just tuning in or who have not seen the latest updates, there seems to be there seems to have been several reports that one or two missiles, it's still unclear. It looks like one missile has crossed over into Polish territory. Regardless of intentionality, obviously, not good. Not good. Not good at all. Wolfglen, Russian, according to everything we know, truly the correct answer would be await the Polish response and go from there. The only thing that we could deduce is that, well, Russia has been bombarding the area, about 90-something missiles. So it is quite conceivable that one of those went, past its target, so to speak. This is the only thing that we know is that definitely civilians were hit. More information is still coming, so we'll see. I hope the Polish folks do declare this an attack and invoke NATO clause. Oh, do not. Yeah, I was about to say, wait, no, this is exactly how you get World War III. As of 7 hours ago, there looks like there was a bombardment, and that ended up, How are they releasing this information about aliens? I don't know. Sharp E24, how's it going? Where is that? Hold on. There is an update. So far, DOD and a lot of intelligence officials are trying to are trying to figure out what exactly happened. I'm trying to motivate myself to do a mind map for MBA notes. Wait, what is MBA? Do you have anything inspirational you can say to me to get me going? Well, what motivates you? I'm not doing things that take me away from my life's purpose. I'm literally doing this course because I'm good, okay, and good at business, and it can lead to lots of money. But that's not the only thing that's important. And if that's the purpose, then I mean, doesn't seem like you're very motivated. So you got to figure that one out. Trying to see if anything else has come up, but that's about it. World War III is trending on Twitter, so that's nice. Has Trump made his big announcement? No, that's probably going to come later tonight. According to another source, it looks like they who knows? We're still getting more information regarding this incident, but we'll see. We'll see. This is the latest that we have here. Alio, how's it going? Yeah, we don't know. He's probably going to make his announcement later on tonight. I saw a post by Newsmax that it was about to be 9 p.m. So we'll see. There are only three news stories that are consistent. Everything else is wide. About what? Trump's announcement? I mean, if he's gonna do it, then he's gonna do it today. If anything. If not, then whatever.
Brigadier General Patrick Ryder, the Pentagon's top spokesman, decided to lead the briefing with a statement about these reports, and here's what he had to say.
And when it comes to force protection, we always take the safety and security of our troops, no matter where they're serving, very seriously. And so we're very confident in any force protection measures that we take, whether it be Poland or elsewhere. But again, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves here. We're going to get the facts, and when we have more to provide, we will. Thank you.
Because, as he said, this was information that was coming in near the top of this briefing that just concluded. And when he said at the top of this briefing, what he said was essentially, we are aware of the information, we are trying to corroborate it, but we don't have any information at this time. Obviously, there's something that is very significant. A situation like this opens up a host of scenarios, and obviously those are the questions that Ryder was asked repeatedly by Pentagon reporters. They were asking about Article 5. That's the
of course.
language inside
Like the
NATO
way the media
compact,
handled this
the
was
treaty that-
absolutely horrendous. The way the media was handling this was horrendous. They must have asked about like Article 5 several times. Bro, chill. Rick Scott is challenging Mitch McConnell for GOP Senate leader. Yes, I saw that. Mitch McConnell said that if he loses the Senate again, he would step down. He would retire. So, you know. Whether he actually does is remains to be seen. So far, what we know is that a missile hit inside of Poland, killed 2 people apparently, and now the Polish army has been put on alert after this incident. So right now, the government is mulling over whether to invoke NATO's Article 4, which calls a meeting of all NATO member states after an ally's territorial integrity or security has been breached. In other words, it looks like they may ask to get together and determine whether or not this warrants a response or not, and what kind of response. So basically, that's where we're at, and probably where we will be at for a while. We have no idea what's the next step, depending on how everyone else reacts. Good thing the U.S. doesn't have any NATO forces in Poland. Yeah, no, we sent more forces. But we'll see what the response is. In my opinion, the best outcome would be that cooler heads prevail, and we do not have a broader conflict. American soldiers are in Poland. There's NATO soldiers in Poland. They're already there. I was being ironic. Yes, I got you. I did a bad job of it. No, if I got it, you're good. Well, there won't be any American, like, if you're talking about, like, American troops acting on their own, that's not going to happen. American troops are part of NATO, which they're there. Trump was a no-show to the January 6th committee. Big surprise there. Well, that means that there is a, possibility that a contempt of Congress charge ends up on the table. I thought Trump did a lawsuit about having to appear. Maybe he's probably done several lawsuits. But no, he was supposed to. He was issued a subpoena. He was issued a lawful subpoena that he had to appear, and he didn't show up. This basically the summation of my feelings here. I thought he sued over the lawfulness. No. Wait, hold on. Trump sues over Jan 6 subpoena or whatever. There is. Wait. Yeah, there is a 3-day article. Three days ago. President Trump is suing the House Committee investigation to avoid cooperating with the subpoena requiring him to testify. The suit that was filed on Friday evening. So this is actually recent. I was not aware of this. While former presidents have voluntarily to agree to provide testimony or documents in response to congressional subpoenas in the past, no president or former president has ever been compelled to. Beefy Castro, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Howdy. Yeah, so I don't know, Wolf Clan. Yeah, you might be right. I don't know what this is going to end up being. Well, yeah, we were actually just talking about it. Basically, we don't know much information. Other than it's pretty unnerving. It's very unnerving. We don't know enough information, but it seems like, from what we can gather, is that yes, a missile crossed over, killed 2 people. Poland has raised the readiness of its army. And we'll go from there. It may consider to invoke Article 4 first, and then move on. Say if Article 5 comes into play, what will occur then? Well, they don't just go straight to Article 5. They would have to talk about it first. They would have to invoke Article 4 to determine, and in a unanimous decision, make a determination of whether or not a NATO ally's integrity territorial integrity and security was indeed breached, at which case the unanimous decision must be made to take that step. That's where we're at right now. So they haven't even gotten to invoking Article 4 first. So best case scenario is that cooler heads prevail, and we don't involve ourselves. We don't find ourselves in a scenario like this. There's basically a chance we could have a war in the way. Then basically, I suppose hypothetically, but the chances of that are very low still. Even though the chances of that increase slightly because of this event, the chances are still very, very low that we will find ourselves in some kind of conflict. Most likely, we would have to. There would have to be more information. I don't think that what we have right now is going to result in grounds for some type of Article 5 scenario right now. We will see. ADT, no chance of war until there's 100% evidence where the missiles came from. Yeah, but no. Even then, even if we can, without a shadow of a doubt, confirm that it was Russian missiles that hit, that in and of itself, doesn't necessarily automatically mean, that there's war. It doesn't automatically mean war. People think that just because let's put a scenario where we actually do have the evidence to support the claim that Russia actually did this, and it's Russia's missiles, Russia's technology and whatnot. That doesn't automatically mean war. Congress and President Biden would have to say war and conflict. Yeah. Surely the biggest people in the world, such as the America nuclear people, the America's nuclear people and the UK nuclear people would just know it's too dangerous and it will kill millions and wipe out so many generations, which is selfish and stupid of them. Well, is it not just also selfish and stupid of Vladimir Putin for even bringing us to this scenario? I don't know. If you were saying, like you were saying earlier, NATO would have to come together and vote on the... Yeah, it would have to be, yes, unanimously. It would have to be unanimously. First of all, they would have to convene and invoke Article 4 to evaluate whether or not this constitutes, a violation of a NATO... a NATO ally's territorial integrity, and then if that is agreed upon, then all of them must agree that, okay, well, we're doing this, and it must be unanimous. So while it is completely unnerving and very shocking to hear the report, I still maintain that hopefully cooler heads prevail, and that we don't find ourselves in places we do not want to be. That's right, it has to be 100% of NATO members, yes. Tulsi is now a full-time Fox contributor officially. Wow, no way. That's funny. That's funny. Her transformation is complete. Her transformation is complete. So yes, Wolfglen, I think you're right, and we might not actually need we might actually not end up seeing a Trump testimony to the January 6th committee. I hope it wasn't intentional. Me neither, but honestly, I don't think it matters. It's a very serious incident regardless. Regardless, it's a very serious incident. Even if it was a mistake, or even if, even if it was a mistake, it is a very serious incident, and people died. 2 people died. So, nonetheless, because like the question is, okay, let's say we find out that it is Russian technology and Russian missiles. So what do we do? Nothing? What do we do? Nothing? Something is probably going to be on the table. I suspect something's going to be on the table. Even if it was even if it wasn't intentional, instead of like saying killing someone and someone doesn't go down for murder, they still did it, and that's the end of it. Yeah, like yeah. If it ends up being that we find that it is Russian technology and Russian missiles, and also we find out that it was unintentional, meaning I don't know, it flew off the path or whatever, it got knocked out or it got hit with some type of anti-missile defense that moved it, or whatever the case may be. It's still serious, and I'm sure, I suspect there's going to be some type of response. Well, we had a couple of misfire of machine guns from North Korea along the DMZ while I was in camp. The worst we got was Black Roads, which means we're getting evacuated to Area 2, but we never left. And like I said, cool-headed people thought first before engaging. Right. But this is a different scenario. This is a different scenario. The U.S. drone strikes thousands of people, and no one sees the consequences of the fact they're giving medals. True! Very true. Very true. Not good. Not good. So, TLDR, we will see what ends up happening because of this. Yeah. I think we need a good 24 hours before people jump to conclusions. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Who knows? Who knows? There's a lot of competing narratives going around. The heck is this? You all right there, buddy? 90% of those drone strikes don't kill their intended target and take out innocent civilians. True. Unfortunately, yes, that is that is the case in more likely scenarios than not. You were absolutely correct, Bipedal. Slava, Ukraine. What does that mean? A perfect example was that it was like a Red Cross guy, right? It was a Red Cross guy who was doing like who was doing aid in, I want to say, Afghanistan, and they just freaking obliterated him. Hashtag worth. Sure, bud. Get out of here, you Britbonger. You're not from here, Mono. I'm American. No, you're not. Stop it. Stop it. Russia stacked Poland. Well, I don't know if they stacked them or not, but I don't know if they stacked them. I don't think that's the right word. Not clear on what happened yet on that one. True. We absolutely don't know. Surprisingly, even U.S. officials have been much more even-handed on this. Every official that I've seen so far has said that we need more information. So, you know. Russia's denying it, but it is possible that Ukrainian air defenses did it. Maybe. I don't know. Because, like, the counter argument that I've heard is, like, obviously Russia's been bombarding that area around that time. It's also possible that it was Belarus. Oh, I did not know this factor. Well, then we've got what effectively amounts to as a clusterfuck. We've got then, if that's the case, if even Belarus might be involved, then we've definitely got what can only amount to a clusterfuck. So, if that's a possibility on the table, probably the best course of action at this time is to wait for more information. There we go. Well, maybe now hit the Article 5 button. Jesus. All right, folks. So, getting back to across the pond, I should say. Ron DeSantis has finally made a response. And this is just getting better. After being the target of Trump's taunts for weeks, Florida Governor DeSantis shot back with a simple retort. Just look at the scoreboard. In a attempt at a mic drop moment, it looks like we finally have a response, which is good, which is excellent. Ron DeSantis probably feels like he might have a little bit more weight behind him than he originally thought. So he's willing to make that little jab, which is good because that means that a fight is happening within the Republican Party. And that only means that they will rip each other apart And hopefully what that results in is a further weakened GOP. Not only has the wind in their sails been taken out by this horrible performance in the midterms, thank goodness for that. Were they wearing the same suit? That would be too funny. Oh, close now, close. Their ties are a little bit different. The only, like, the thing that I want to happen is that at the end of this, I hope that actually probably the best case scenario is that Trump announces, and so does Ron DeSantis. That way, they can divide and split the GOP and effectively torpedo any of their chances, which is good. His remarks at a Tuesday conference marked the first time DeSantis, who has left the door open to running for president in 2024, has publicly responded to personal jabs made by Trump and his allies. Well, you know, one of the things I've learned, learned in this job is when you're leading, you're getting things, phenomenal stuff here, folks. Phenomenal quote. When you're leading, when you're getting things done, yeah, you take incoming fire, and it's constantly attacking, and this is just what's happened. I don't think any governor got attacked more, particularly by corporate media, than me over my 4-year term. Except this wasn't corporate media, my friend. This was Donald Trump, dude. Okay, whatever, dude. We focus on results and leadership, and at the end of the day, I would just tell people to go check the scoreboard from Tuesday night. And the fact of the matter is, it was the greatest Republican victory in the history of the state of Florida. Gorkham Beck said they are with either candidate. Yeah, these people don't care. They will vote Republican regardless. Basically, what matters is where the base ends up. My guess, no matter how hard these pundits, these right-wing clowns try, no matter how hard they try, I think Trump would win out that battle, but would come out significantly weakened. And since he won't have as much party support, his chances in 2024 will go up in flames. And that's probably the best case scenario. FN, yeah, hi. Okay. Howdy. So the best case scenario is that there's a bloody primary. And we find ourselves with a severely weakened GOP. A Trump spokesperson didn't immediately return the Daily Beast request for comment. When it comes to attacking DeSantis, Trump has received a variety of advice on how to confront this matter. I was excited to catch your show, so yay and stuff. Hey! Well, I appreciate that. Welcome. Welcome. When it comes to attacking DeSantis, Trump has received a wide variety of advice on how to confront this matter. No attacks, a longtime Trump advisor told the Daily Beast, responding to DeSantis. Same team, right, but that's not how Trump operates, so good luck. They were backing Herschel Walker and Lindsey Graham. And, Lindsey Graham cried on air over Herschel? No way. Trump's going to end up doing to DeSantis and his wife what he did to Cruz and his wife. Probably. The feud between the two Republican Party bigwigs has long been simmering, but this past Thursday, Trump issued a lengthy and rambling statement ripping into DeSantis, whom Trump has nicknamed Ron DeSanctimonious on no uncertain terms. This is beautiful stuff happening. In a statement, Trump took credit for DeSantis' rise in the GOP ranks and took issue with DeSantis playing games when he asked about potentially running for the White House in 2024. Well, in terms of loyalty and class, it's not really the right answer, Trump said, poking fun at DeSantis not addressing the 2024 question when asked by reporters. Yeah, I think if anything, Ron DeSantis should announce now. Should have announced before Trump does. Oh, man. That would have been perfect. Late on Monday night, Trump on his social media platform Truth Social facetiously thanked DeSantis for praising him during the re-election campaign. Thanks, Ron, he said, while re-upping an old DeSantis campaign ad. No way Trump came up with that. What? Ron DeSanctimonious? As the Daily Beast reported, the former president intends to announce his 2024 bid on Tuesday evening, which is tonight. I'm sure there will be challenges, a Trump advisor told the Daily Beast, but they better show up ready for war because nothing is off the table. The big Trump thing is tonight, yeah. His announcement, whether or not he chooses to run, will be supposedly tonight. We'll see. I mean, he might just make a big announcement and and just say I'm not running for X, Y, and Z reasons. Oh my goodness. Sorry, folks. I am tired. I'm announcing that I'm entering the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Card World Championship. My deck is bigly strong, the greatest, most powerful deck, and if I lose, it's because the tournament is rigged against me. That was almost a perfect quote, almost a perfect meme, Mono, but if you would have swapped out Yu-Gi-Oh! For Magic the Gathering, I might have given you a clap from the soundboard, like one of these. I might have given you one of those. You almost had it. I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. That's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to know anything about Magic the Gathering, just that it's a card game and I like it very much, so that probably would have... I've got the greatest cards. Trump definitely a Lightsworn deck player. I have no idea. Is that for Yu-Gi-Oh? I had a frog deck on the Xbox 360 Yu-Gi-Oh game. I heard the frog deck was pretty cool. Yu-Gi-Oh is just too much for me. Too much for me. Magic the Gathering is easy. But that's just my personal opinion. So there you have it, folks. The response from Ron DeSanctimonious. To kind of just piggyback off that, these are what other conservatives are saying. She views the prospect. My Magikarp is the biggest there is. That's too funny. Pokemon. Now that I know. She views the prospect of Trump announcing another run for presidency, as he is expected to do in Florida, Tuesday evening with trepidation. Bro predicts a lot of blood on the floor if it comes to a fight with right-wing Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for the Republican nomination and defeat in the 2024 election if the former U.S. president is the candidate. So they're reading the exact writing on the wall. If there is a primary that's very brutal, that's going to essentially that's just going to lead to the GOP losing, and that's okay by me. I really wish he wouldn't run in 2024. I don't see his presidency growing up in America, as I only see a replay of the same circus and bashing as last time and 4 more years of that. Wait, what? Yeah, Trump's presidency was a circus. Not to mention incredibly frightening, and we're still dealing with the repercussions of his administration, and probably will be dealing with the repercussions of his administration for quite a while. So no more of that, thank you. It went to full-blown civil unrest, yeah, and possibly worse. Like imagine if that's what happened when Trump lost the election. When Trump lost the election in 2020, and these people got super big mad over a wild conspiracy theory of election fraud. Can you imagine? And they basically did. They essentially engaged in insurrectionary behavior over this. Can you imagine if Trump runs again? And most likely, I mean, it's just obvious, and like people were talking about it even before in the 2020 election, that most likely this dude is going to lose. This dude is going to lose. Can you imagine in 2024 if he should win the nomination and lose again? These people are gonna lose their shit. Very dangerous stuff. So maybe you gotta maybe I'm gonna end up rescinding that thought, because even though I know that a Trump nomination means that he will most likely lose, the repercussions of that could be very bad. So the further I think about it, I don't know. Trump might lose his shit. I don't care about Trump. Trump can lose whatever it is that he feels. I don't give a shit about what he says or what he does. The problem with Trump is that he has a lot of supporters, meaning that he has enough people that support him. That makes me very concerned. Because if those people were willing to do, were willing to engage in insurrectionary behavior on his behalf, that could possibly happen again. And possibly worse, because, they've already, the prime has already been pumped. The prime has already been pumped. Scary stuff. So I might think twice about that one. The Republicans' failure to deliver the much-promised red wave in the midterm was a significant blow to Trump's claim to be the voice of his party's voters, not least because of the defeat of key candidates that endorsed by him, including Kari Lake recently. But backing from grassroots, which gave him a tight grip on Republicans for years and kept its hostile leadership at bay, has been eroding for months. Republican county chairs and activists say the former president's support has fallen as a result of his continued push of election conspiracy theories, the investigations into its businesses and political actions, and his attacks on his most threatening challenger, DeSantis. Above all, there's a deepening fear that Trump is now even more divisive than he was 2 years ago when he lost the popular vote to Joe Biden by more than 7 million votes and is therefore unelectable. But local Republican leaders also say that Trump retains a substantial and virulently loyal following within the party that will fight to the last and could still decide the primaries. Right. Which then, if that's the case, he might win. The primary, that is. Trump is the Simpsons old man yells at cloud meme. True! Right now, Trump can rant on social media and give the interviews and rallies, but if Trump gets more power, Well, yeah, if Trump gets more power, he's an authoritarian piece of shit. If Trump actually declares tonight, then, well, he's probably, people are going to, his base is going to get excited, and his base is probably going to deliver him the primary, the win. And we will have to deal with that. In rural Iowa, Neil Schaefer, chair of the Howard County Republican Party, said he would rather see DeSantis as his party's candidate in 2 years, but the membership of his branch is split. Honestly, Trump's got a lot of baggage, self-inflicted. He's taken the loss gracefully. Had he taken the loss gracefully and held his tongue and didn't further these conspiracy theories, he probably could have been president again with an interim of Biden. People that came to Trump's bandwagon were a lot of independents and a lot of first-time voters, a lot of everyday people. Sure, they did overlook. Like, this is what I don't understand. Like, when you're researching candidates and you see the type of shit that Trump's done, and you see, like, the type of rhetoric that he's using ever since he started campaigning, the first time, because this is referencing 2016 right here. This quote. If you're a first-time voter and you're like, wow, this guy is definitely something else, and you start doing your research, like, how can you not see what kind of, red flags this guy presents immediately during his rallies, during his early rallies, before he won the presidency in 2016? He was advocating for violence. There was people that got assaulted at his rallies. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, DeSantis has his own baggage. That's true. It's just not as out there as Trump's is. Maybe that's what they mean. So how could you not know what kind of person he is? And furthermore, if you were willing to overlook some of the, quote, issues, then maybe you're okay with these things? In which case, some introspection might be warranted. The Republicans thought Trump would be the new Reagan for 25 years. Oh, in 2016? Since then, a lot of people that I've talked to that were first-time Republican voters would have a very difficult time being enthusiastic for Trump this time around, just because of how he didn't gracefully take an exit. Yeah, that was the problem. Yeah, surely, dude. That really was the problem. He lost a lot of political capital between November 2020 and January 6th, and unnecessarily, and all self-inflicted. Well, Alio with the 10 biddies, thank you. I'm voting for Bugs Bunny as president, Yosemite Sam as vice president, Daffy Duck as secretary of finance. I don't know if Reagan... Reagan was smarter because his policies are still damaging the U.S. today. Okay? His policies are still damaging the United States today. So, yeah. Reagan was smarter than Trump, true. I flush things down the toilet smarter than Trump. That's funny.
Please clap.
Schaefer said he has faith in the electoral system and that Biden legitimately won the election. I'm not, like Bro, Schaefer wants to see other candidates challenge Trump for the Republican nomination. I honestly am a big fan of Governor DeSantis and have been for several months just following through his last campaign. A fresh face. He has the same kind of agenda as Trump, just without all the baggage, right? So they love the whole far right authoritarian stuff. It's just it has to be done right. That's what this is telling me. They like all the far right policies and all the far right shit. The ideology is good. It just has to be presented differently. Is what he's basically telling us here. If former President Trump had stayed off Twitter and had the political demeanor of an American representative in our political position, I think it would have been better. He really needed to listen to the crew on the Hill. Yeah, but the problem is that his policies were bad. Point blank. Regardless of whatever political demeanor, because that's the least of the problems. That's the least of the problems. The problem is the authoritarianism. The problem is his policies. That's the issue here. Not his demeanor. I always saw the president as a figurehead of the country. They're more like figurehead of the sort of. I don't know if that's the terminology that I would use. Yeah, Trump only cares about himself. True. On January 6th, FBI documents. Yeah, all these things. However, Schaefer doubts that Trump can be beaten. If Trump runs, I'm 99% sure he'll have the nomination. I know how caucuses and primaries work. You don't have that to have that many people show up, and he has a very loyal and dedicated following. Burrow is not so sure that Trump would win the primaries, but she predicts a bitter fight that could further damage the Republican Party. If these two guys are the ones that are left going back and forth, I think it's going to be brutal. There'll be a lot of blood on the floor. Yeah, this is probably, from a strategic point of view, this is probably the best outcome. We need to have as much damage to the GOP as possible, and this scenario here would result in the weakest version of the GOP, and that's good. And that's a good thing. We'll see how this GOP infighting turns out, but it can only be a good thing if they're dividing themselves this way. It's only a good thing. dividing diagonally. For now, not sure what will happen in 2 years. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very true. You know, at the start of the presidency, if you asked me how the Democratic Party will do in the midterms, there's definitely a video of me saying that the Democratic Party was going to get absolutely freaking walloped. They would, you know, if you were to ask me in 2020, what in the beginning of 2020, basically the beginning of I'm sorry, at the start of Biden's presidency, right? Like probably within a couple of months at the start. If you were to ask me what would happen in the midterms that following year and a half, 2 years, I would have told you, and I did. There's video of that. I would tell you that the Democrats were going to get absolutely clobbered. And as we got closer, things started to shift, and so did my prediction. So who knows, bipedal? Maybe you're right. Is President Biden running again? I think that's what we are to expect right now. Echo Resto Dragon, how's it going? Unless Biden or DNC changes their mind, yeah, I suppose there could be a scenario where they just, I mean, if they're gonna do that, we probably would know by now. I suspect that it's, I mean, unless some extenuating circumstances, I suspect that Biden is probably going to be the nominee or automatically nominate. Santaya's coming. Santa is coming. What? Santa? Quite a rap sheet there. Polling data is now useless. I wouldn't say useless. That's kind of a... That's not an accurate statement. That's not an accurate statement. Not really. I wouldn't say that polling data is useless. But polls are sure are not votes. Yeah, that's right. But the reason why we use polls is to kind of just gauge, put your finger, you know, to the political winds and kind of attempt to interpret where they're going. They're not designed to be like gospel. Yeah, Banned by Ben, she's awesome. True. Very true. Very true. if polling prediction is so horribly, I don't know if it's horribly inaccurate, but now you're moving, you're pivoting, right? You went from polls are now useless, which that's not entirely a true statement, to now it's horribly inaccurate. Not always. It's still important to kind of just gauge what's going on here. You use polls for multiple reasons, like just saying. I mean, this is like basic politics, right? Well, I think they're cheating, and yes, yeah. So, in other words, you live in an alternate reality. Gotcha. Do you have any evidence of any like serious cheating across the board, or what? Well, here's actually no. You know what? There is actually cheating, or attempted cheating, actually. But it's actually by the Republican Party. You can check out multiple schemes that the Republican Party has engaged to attempt to flip the results of the election. They attempted in several states, including Georgia, which is currently under criminal investigation, to shoehorn fake electors to. In the particular case of Georgia, there were several people of Trump's circle, and of course, this very perfect phone call where he attempted to pressure a official, the Secretary of State, the person who runs elections, to find him, votes and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely attempted. Cheating, but not, this is done by the Republicans, of course. If you're an election denier, you would have to have some evidence, right? Right? I mean, why else would you believe such a claim? You would have to have evidence, right? Santa? What if the poll don't understand the questions or vote the opposite? Nah, I mean, like, I don't think that, like, that we should just, like, say that polls are useless. I'm just saying that you don't have to, take it as gospel. I'm just saying that polls can be useful to kind of put your finger in the air and say, like, where these political winds are shifting. I'm just saying. It seems like we're really bad cheaters, but cheaters nonetheless, right? Attempted cheater doesn't make it any better. Shoehorning fake electors to overturn the election doesn't make it any better. Just because your plan didn't work doesn't mean it's good. Johnny Scarlet rating with a party of 15. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Howdy. Folks, if you have a moment, have a great stream. Thank you so much for bringing in your wonderful folks out here. If you have a moment, please take a second. Twitch.tv/Johnny Scarlet. Hey, party people. I don't think I made you VIP. How rude. There we go. There's several awesome folks that have that are in chat here. Folks, if you have not seen me before, I am A Difficult Truth. I do the news, I do the politics Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, we're just talking about the news that's going on right now. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't seen this show and you guys want to support it, make sure you hit the follow button. It really does help us out. And if you want to go a super extra step, you can actually hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. Big red button on the YouTube, just click it, and that's all you got to do. For those of you that are new here, and I hope you enjoy your stay, and I hope you like the show. Thank you. Maple Leaf Dragon. Haagen-Dazs or Ben & Jerry's? I am following you now. Good. Go follow Johnny Scarlett. Carpet Packs also. Alio shared. There's a couple of wonderful folks here. If you see a little diamond next to them, chances are that they're a content creator of some sort. So make sure you follow them. I don't know. I think that Haagen-Dazs has a tiny bit of an edge, but Ben & Jerry's just has like the wildest selection. Oh wait, that's a poll. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'll let chat decide. Let me stop right there. Oh, what? I can do a shout out? Shout out. Can I do that? Yeah, I can. Oh, cool. Well, now I know what to do. Yeah, you see the shout out? Okay, cool. So it worked. All right, chat. This is your decision. Got 2 minutes. Go for it. Oh, I think I misspelled it. By the way, if you follow some of these folks, they have phenomenal emotes like that cat from Carpet Packs. So I suggest you follow and support them. You can subscribe and get some cool emotes. All right, folks. Where were we? Okay. Yeah, decisions. So very interesting. I start asking a couple of quick questions, and all of a sudden, election denier just decided they didn't want to play ball. That's sad. The Biden administration could extend payment pauses yet again. With legal blows to President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan mounting, it's possible that the administration could extend the payment pause on the monthly bills yet again, as probably its only way of, continuing to mitigate this. I'm sure they're going to have to consider it as an option, said Scott Buchanan, executive director at Student Loan Servicing Alliance, a trade group for federal student loan servicers. If the president's policy remains blocked in the courts by the end of the year, higher education expert Mark Kantrowitz, I don't know, the Biden administration is likely going to further extend this payment pause. The Washington Post reported this week that officials in the White House are beginning to discuss the possibility of another extension if the lawsuit continue to thwart its loan forgiveness plan. Also, just like a side note, this is all basically Republicans, essentially. Republicans are the only ones that are engaging in this behavior. The decisions by the judges were judges that were appointed by Republicans. I mean, this is just squarely at the feet of Republicans. Period. There's no real way around this. So this is just what happens when they win elections. I'm just saying, if they're an election denier, then facts are dangerous and explaining themselves could cause mental distress. That's probably they failed. They stopped interacting after I asked a couple of quick questions. That's unfortunate. Federal student loan payments have been on pause since March of 2020, when the coronavirus pandemic first hit the U.S. and crippled the economy, still crippling the economy. Resuming the bills for over 40 million Americans will be a massive task, and the Biden administration had hoped to smooth this transition by forgiving a large share of student debt first. However, since the president announced his plan in August to cancel up to 20,000 million for tens of millions of borrowers, this, just to clarify, this is for Pell Grants. 20,000 is for Pell Grants, 10,000 for the federal loans. A conservative group in Republican states moved quickly to try to block it. Yeah, F you, poors. That's basically the Republican mantra. The U.S. Department of Education closed its student loan forgiveness portal last week after a federal judge in Texas called the Biden plan, quote, unconstitutional and struck it down. This federal judge was a judge that was appointed by Donald Trump. The Biden's plan is also is on hold after 6 GOP-led states, again Republicans, Nebraska, Missouri, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas, and South Carolina, asked the court to stay the policy while the legal challenge against it unfolds. The courts have issued orders blocking our student debt relief program, according to a note on the forgiveness application page at studentaid.gov. As a result, at this time, we're not accepting applications. We're seeking to overturn those orders. Right. They should be a little bit more poignant, right? I mean, if I don't know, if I had any say in this, it would be like, yeah, if you live in these states, consider writing to your Republican representative and ask them why they're doing this. Nah, not even remotely the same. Not even remotely the same. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. Not even close. A lot of election deniers won last week, so they're being quiet. Yeah, because those are the only elections that that aren't fraudulent are the ones that they win by pedal. That's how this works. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. The only elections that aren't rigged or they don't need to talk about, or they can just forego that whole election denier bullshit, are elections they won, because that's how these people operate. Elections are fraudulent unless I win. Before the portal was closed, some 26 million Americans applied for this relief. Under President Biden's plan, more than 10 million borrowers were projected to get their entire student loan balance erased. Like, I hope people understand that this is completely on the feet of Republicans, of conservatives here. These 10 million people that just got shafted it was because of Republicans, period. I mean, there's just literally no other way of putting it. These are GOP states that are mounting this. It was judges who were put in by Republicans. Federal judges who were put in by Republicans. So, yeah, this is squarely at the feet of, and a consequence of, Republicans winning elections. So all these 10 million people who just got, shafted, should probably be angry and should probably never vote Republican again. Just saying. The Biden administration has promised forgiveness to some tens of millions of borrowers who will be upset at having to make payments on loans that they expect to be forgiven. Right, and just to be clear, because I know that there's like a lot of leftists and leftists, progressive so-called in quotation marks, like the people like Brianna Joy Gray, those kind of folks who are going to try to pin this. We're going to try to pin this on the Biden administration, but no, they would be completely incorrect and misleading. The Jimmy Dores of the world. Do not be mistaken. This right here is a result of Republicans winning elections. That's it. If you want more of this, which I hope the younger generation, understands the ramifications of Republicans winning, then just vote against them. The White House has declined to comment. All right, let's check in with our, atmospheric expert, climate change expert, Herschel Walker. Let's check in with him. I'm sure he has something insightful to say. Herschel Walker, the U.S. should keep gas-guzzling cars that produce good emissions. Yes, that's right. Campaigning on Georgia on Sunday, Republican candidate Herschel Walker said that the United States is not ready to implement policies like the Green New Deal that are designed to address the climate change. Instead, Walker suggested the country needs to keep having those gas-guzzling cars that produce, quote, good emissions. There's no such thing. Some experts believe that it is likely that 9 Supreme Court justices would vote it down since Joe went with the HEROES Act instead of the HEA Act. Would vote it down, meaning they would rule against the Biden administration. Is that what you're saying? Which I would believe, because it has a I don't know about all nine. But because of the conservative majority, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, should a challenge reach the Supreme Court, that the conservative majority would strike it down, would vote against, would rule against the Biden administration. Yes, it would not surprise me. If we was ready for the green agenda, I'd raise my right hand now. Right, as we see all of these, warning signs that are clearly right in front of us. California is currently on fire. We've had billions and billions of dollars in destruction between the hurricanes and wildfires and whatnot. But yeah, I guess we're not ready right now. Surely, it can wait. So don't let them fool you like this is a new agenda. It's really not. The concept of dealing with climate change has been kind of a thing for a while now. Climate change has been known about and pretty well studied for decades at this point. We are not prepared. We're not ready right now. What we need to do is keep having those gas guzzling cars, because we got the good emissions under those cars, right? As opposed to the other cars that have the bad emissions, right? Needless to say, all cars have the same emissions because they use gasoline, which is a fossil fuel. Yeah. Cool. This is the person running for Senate, folks. This is the person running for Senate. In fact, don't listen to me. Why don't we just listen to his own words, right?
I can promise you, Iran, Russia, and they're not talking about trying to charge a tank out in the desert. They're talking about war. And let me tell you this here. If we was ready for the green agenda, I'll raise my hand right now, but we're not ready right now. So don't let them fool you like this is a new agenda. This is not the new agenda. We're not prepared. We're not ready right now. What we need...
That's not even true at all. Like, we could, like, hypothetically, we have absolutely every checkbox, right? We have resources, we have space, we have technology. There's literally no excuse as to why we can't move in that direction in as quickly as possible in whatever ways possible. There's literally no way, no excuse is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we've only been ready for 20 years. Good air and bad air, something about China. Yep. True. As the atmospheric expert that Herschel Walker is, apparently he has advised us that good air somehow makes it its way to China, and their bad air, because of some whatever, there's no science needed behind this. You just gotta, envision it in your head, and then it's real. So the good air that we produce somehow manages to float its way on over to China, and of course China's bad air, because that's the bad, those are the baddies. We go over there, that bad air comes over here, we clean their bad air, and then it cycles. I kid you not, that's actually what he said. Yeah.
To do is keep having those gas guzzling cars, because we got the good emission out of those cars. We're doing the best thing that we can, but we need help. We need help, and those other people not helping us. China not helping us. India not helping us. But
yeah, this is whataboutism. If you want to ask and you want to tell, someone like India about reducing emissions and whatnot, you're gonna have to explain why you are the historically the largest emitter and woefully underperforming in a lot of metrics here, before you can start asking other countries to do X, Y, or Z. Look inward, my guy. You're not the senator of China. You're not the senator of India. You would be the senator of the United States. Right, more China bad. Did Herschel win or lose? Well, he got less votes. He got less votes than Walker, but didn't cross. I'm sorry, than Warnock, but Warnock did not meet the over 50% threshold. So now it's going to go to another rematch, essentially. Mono on December 6th, I want to say. So if you're in Georgia, don't forget. Make sure that somebody like this actually does not make it into the U.S. Senate. Yeah. Maybe the chemtrails would transfer that good air. Yeah. That's how that works. Correct. Yeah. So if you're in Georgia, just please, someone like this should not be the senator. Okay. Actually embarrassing. Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna do it all because they spending your money. I can promise
Wait,
you.
what? Who's spending our money? China? Whatever, dude. The science on the cause of rising global temperatures has long been well established, and we put emissions from automobiles are anything but, quote, good for the planet. True, and there's no such difference between good emissions from automobiles and bad emissions from automobiles. They're the same thing. Fernart? What? Fernart? I don't know. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I'm sorry. Femart8, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. In 2021, more than 99% of climate scientists agree that mankind's burning of fossil fuels is causing the global climate to warm. Yes, we know this. Yes. American-made cars produce oxygen for breeze. What are you talking about? True. It looks like a Sam Cedar background. Incorrect. Sam Cedar stole my background. That's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Yeah, there you go. See, my mod's gonna back me up on this one. See, he stole it. Wait, no. Hey, oi! It's the other way around. I misread that. It's the other way around. Don't listen to this fraudulent streamer. He definitely stole it. Sam and David both stole it. True. Right. Finally, some drama. True. That's as much drama as you're gonna get on this show. ADT stole Tim Pool's beanie though. That's true. This is a known fact of life. I stole Tim Pool's beanie, but I'm using it for good. I'm using it for good. Yeah, Tim has never been the same. That explains everything. Long ago, it was foretold that 2 beanies would change the course of history. And this is where we are. ADT. Yeah, still, yes, I did. No original ideas. True. None of my ideas are original. That's true. That's very true. That does explain his emo band. True. His 2000s emo band, which also happens to be like a guilty pleasure that I absolutely enjoyed. Warped Tour and all that. But Tim Pool's band, it's as a musician, I've been playing probably since 2008. Yeah. No comment on his music. Don't create, regurgitate. True.
Please clap.
Pool was an almost decent videographer once. Yeah, almost. Once. The kazoo doesn't count. Damn. Sag. The TLDRs, please don't let this guy be the next senator. If you live in Georgia, or if you're in the US and can do like phone banking or whatnot, to remind people that there's a runoff election, texting, text banking, phone banking, whatever, to remind folks to get out there. Don't let this freaking guy be the next senator, an extra senator in the Senate, please. So to get to transition into a little bit of good news, just a little bit. I don't. You don't what? You don't live in the US? Oh, on mobile. Okay. The world's largest floating wind farm off Norwegian coast produces its first power. So that's good. A turbine at Hywind Tampen, a facility described as the world's largest floating wind farm, produced its first power over the weekend, Norwegian energy firm Equinor announced in a statement on Monday. With the alternative energy sources more emission-friendly than others, it's currently being used to power the production of more traditional higher-emission energy sources, oil and gas. What? Okay, never mind. This is just bad. I don't know how he got this. I don't know how he got this far. Me neither. And friends don't let friends vote for Herschel Walker. True. He's very funny to listen to. Nah, I don't find it funny. I don't find him funny because like he could actually make some real damage. You know, especially winning, especially losing by that like margin. Especially losing by that margin. I don't know. A lot of people are way too comfortable with just like this anti-intellectual streak that's going on. My metric for electability is if I can believe the candidate truly cares of whether or not I live or die. Jesus Christ. Imagine like this is the scenario that we're in at this time. If like literally it literally we're just like down to like, hey, maybe this candidate might you know, why even bother if that's the voting if that's the metric? None of them do. Yeah, but some of them will do less damage than others, so you kind of have to, you know, you kind of have to play the game. You kind of have to play the cards that you're dealt with. The unique wind farm installed on a floating concrete structure with a joint mooring system about 86 miles of the coast of Norway is its first of its kind to power oil and gas installations. Nice! Nice. So we went well, I mean we by like humans because this is only like a human thing. We went all out of our way to create the world's largest wind farm capable of powering, you know, however many houses probably. Instead, we've decided that they are going to power fossil fuel installations and for projects regarding drilling and procurement. Wow, the memes really write themselves with this one. I was expecting something different. Yeah, green energy to power fossil fuels makes perfect freaking sense. Makes perfect freaking sense. The first power from the wind turbine was sent to Gullfaks oil and gas field and is expected to power around 35% of the Gullfaks and Snore electricity demands in the North Sea. In 2023, Equinor say will have 11 turbines up and running with a system capacity of 88 megawatts to help power the production of fossil fuels. Unfreaking real. Cool. Norway's government has previously said it wants to cut emissions while growing the nation. Yeah, explain. Yeah, you can't cut emissions while expanding fossil fuel projects. My brothers in Christ. My brothers in Christ. You cannot in one breath say that you want to commit to cutting down your emissions while effectively sealing the deal for decades of fossil fuel production. You know you're in a technological transition when I mean sort of, but like this shouldn't be. This should be powering homes. This should be powering other stuff. The Norwegian petroleum industry will be developed, not dismantled. A coalition of the country's labor and center party in a joint policy document in 2021 per Reuters. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. The company says its power will help Norway's energy transition and energy security. Yeah, but that they're not interested in that. If previously you're saying that you're going to grow the nation's oil and gas industry, explain. You're not transitioning if you're using some of these things to just expand your fossil fuel projects. It's a way of reducing the cost of bringing fossil fuels to market. Right, but no plans of actually reducing it. Because if that was the case, then why are we using it to expand more projects? Well, we meaning Norwegian government. Why would you be trying to grow the oils and the nation's oil and gas industry? If you're truly thinking about moving away from fossil fuels or transitioning, whatnot. The power requirements for carbon to capture to currently create more carbon than it captures. Yeah. Like we're not that technology is not to be relied on. It's going to be necessary. I suspect that it's going to be a player at some point. The way we're going, we need to go carbon negative. The rate we're going, we're gonna have to figure out a way to move into carbon negative status. If we're truly serious about solving this issue. But carbon capture currently is just not sufficient. Nor do I want a scenario where people can just be like, well, we've got carbon capture, so I guess fossil fuels are still okay. We're fire it up. No, that's not the mindset I want people to have. I do believe that carbon capture is going to have to play a role, but it is nowhere near ready. No. The company says it will happen. It will power to help. Its power will help Norway's transition and the energy security of Europe. The oil and gas sector is the country's largest one, based on quote value-added revenues, investment, and export value. Clearly, the only thing that matters. Clearly, Norway still needs fossil fuels for 20 years. Afterwards, they can retrofit to the rigs to house a desalination plant or something. Yeah, but they should be moving towards that, to those goals now. Because like the faster we attempt to move off of fossil fuels, and it's not just Norway, it's everybody, as much as possible in every way possible that can be done, should start moving now. So the proper response would be like, we're not using this to grow our fossil fuel industry, right? The proper response would be like, well, since this is the scenario we're kind of stuck in, we might as well try to cut emissions where we can, and try to move away from these fossil fuel, plants. This will cut CO2 emissions from the fields by about 220,462 tons per year. But how much will they add on the back end if you're expanding this industry? How much will you be adding on the back end if you're using it to expand the fossil fuel industry in your country? We're still under the Buddha quarterly profit worship and multinational corporations. Yep, true. Since Equinor began operations at the world's first floating wind farm in 2017, other nations are sprinting ahead with the technology, and a number of similar major projects are already underway in the UK, Korea, and China. Last year, China installed 17 gigawatts of new offshore power, 80% of the global total, according to the Global Wind Energy Council. Jesus. China has 80% of the global wind production at this time. Countries like Japan, Australia, Scotland, and the US are eyeing projects as the technology has become more widely understood as a critical part of global renewable energy mix. The Biden-Harris administration announced earlier this year that it was targeting 15 gigawatts of offshore wind capacity by 2035. Cool, dudes. That's just not... that's just not gonna cut it, though. To bring floating offshore wind technology off the coast of California and Oregon in the Gulf of Maine and beyond, and provide enough clean energy to power 5 million American homes. Cool, dudes. How many hundreds of millions are here? Yeah. That's rather unfortunate. Of course, none of this is going to change. unless we have the political will. Yeah, big number, good. Line up, good. That's right. Big number, good. Small number, bad. Line up, good. Line down, Sag. That's basically the extent of that calculus right there. All right, we've got one more article which we kind of talked about earlier. Some good memes. Rick Scott, Scottamort, will challenge, and also one of the most massive forms of Medicare fraud. So he wins that award for committing the most fraud, one of the largest Medicare fraud, I guess I should say. Rick Scott from Florida will challenge Mitch McConnell for Senate Republican leader. Senator Rick Scott of Florida will challenge Minority Leader McConnell for his powerful post after the Republicans failed to win back the majority despite a favorable political environment. Scott has little chance of succeeding, even though it's the first real opponent McConnell has faced in 15 years as the longest-serving GOP leader. Senate Republicans are expected to hold leadership elections on Wednesday. I'm running for leader, first-time senator and former governor, and scam artist too. Millions of dollars stolen. I'm not satisfied with the status quo. Oh, but you are the status quo, my friend. So I think we ought to have an option. So Rick Scott will challenge Mitch McConnell. This should bode well. I'm telling you, the more infighting in the GOP, probably the better, as they will most likely be weakened. Good stuff. By how much the Republican Party will be weakened by all of this? Who knows? Folks, it is past 7 o'clock. I do gotta get going. I'm hungry. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. It's a big red button. Dustin, you have a good one. Thank you so much. And as I'm speaking about YouTube chat, thank you. I appreciate it. All of you watching on YouTube. On your way out, like the stream and do all that awesome stuff. If you enjoy the content, hit the follow button over here on Twitch. You get 5 free emotes, including Bakita the cat. So, you know, Din time true. I ran some tests and I think I can run stream at 900 resolution. Nice. I mean, if you do 720 and if you do 720 60, you'll be alright. That's high definition. You'll be alright. That's what I. Oh no, wait. Do I run 720? Settings. Stream, output, video. Yeah. Oh no. I output. Oh, I'm sorry. I output at 720p, which is 1280 by 720. So maybe I got it wrong. The frame drops, but I can't do anything about my internet, so it's not bad. You do 720 60. Yeah. If you're doing 960, if you do 720 60, and lower your bit rate, I want to say, you might be on par. Yours look sharper because my bit rate is high. My bitrate is settings. Output. My bitrate is at 4,000 kilobytes per second. So my bitrate is pretty high. So you get like a smooth, kind of stable stream. Plus, I'm using like very sharp, very, very sharp camera. And so it looks better when I scale down, if that makes sense. So the resolution on the actual frame is higher than what is actually being outputted. So if I'm streaming at 720 60, my actual like resolution on the canvas is full like 1080 60, right? So when it gets scaled down, it still looks pretty freaking good. So that's how I kind of finagle the settings in my laptop. That's the way it works. That's the way it works for me anyways. Sounds like some nerd shit. Listen, I've been doing this for a while, okay? You learn a thing or two. But if you are streaming, if you are going to actually start streaming some video games, let us know. I'll do the shout outs and you can always post on the Discord as well. Gotta love it. True. So as I was saying, if you guys enjoy the content, just kind of hanging out, chilling, join us Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Hit the follow button here. If you want to actually like keep up with what's going on the channel and hang out, join that Discord right there. That way you get notifications and stuff like that. Sometimes Twitch is wonky like that, or YouTube is wonky like that. It won't notify you right away. I have people who tell me that notifications come like 30 minutes afterwards. But if you want to join the Discord, you can do that as well. Do some more stress tests over the next week and check the VODs to see if there's any issues. Yeah, if you're starting to stream, go for it. Let me know. I'll do shout outs, or you can do shout outs on the Discord as well. That being said, I do gotta get going. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you to Johnny Scarlett for the massive raid. I appreciate that. And to all of you who have followed, thank you so much. Thank you, Alio, for the biddies. Thank you, Zeoduke, for the subscription. Thank you. You guys are what makes this channel grow. I appreciate all the support. Make sure that if you see a little diamond in chat, to make sure you support them. There's a couple of them. Twitch.tv/AlioShare, Twitch.tv/Johnny Scarlett, Twitch.tv/CarpetPacks. Please go show some support to them. I appreciate everybody. EcoNymph, I'm never going to pronounce your username, okay, correctly. I'm always going to mess it up. One day, I swear, one day when I'm done here, you can teach me how to say it again. I'm just never gonna be able to pronounce it. Peace, boss. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out. Thank you. And also, you see that little Bakita, emote, Bakita the cat? Yeah, if you hit the follow button, you get that one for free. How about that? Look at that. Easy peasy. Look at that. Alright, folks, I have got to get going. Let me see who we are going to. Let me see. Does anybody have a suggestion? There's this channel that does a lot of like nature walks. No, I don't see them online. Nope, don't see them either. All right. Well, we'll head on over to $27. Let's do that. For some reason, like, they don't show up in my search list either. I think Twitch is being a little weird. I had to physically search for them. Alright, folks, we're heading out of here. Thank you all so much. I appreciate that. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love y'all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya. Alright, folks. Hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.